Hey sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. Kay here from At Home with Kay. And today's video is part of the Recreation Inspiration. The host of this collaboration is Amanda from 6 Kids and a Glue Gun, Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and me as co-host Kay from At Home with Kay. Yay! And today's collaboration is fruit and bees. That is our theme. My fruit is watermelon. I saw this watermelon charger on Pinterest someone had done, and I wanted to recreate it. It was on a post that someone by the name of Gloria D, and I'm gonna try to link all this in my description box. And what made this catch my eye was because it had the Mackenzie Childs around the edge of this charger. And it looks like a napkin, a watermelon napkin, was just decoupaged on top of the charger. But I didn't have any watermelon napkins, so I made it a little more complicated, of course. And I'm going to use paint to try and duplicate that same look that that person got. So I just took 3 different color green paints, and I used a sponge paintbrush, and I just like dab all the way around after I got done painting the black and white checks on there. And I just want to make it look, you know, the same way as they did with those paints there. And a little bit of white also that I use. The charger is painted with chalk paint by Waverly. The color is plaster. But I'm gonna also use a little white to create some dimension. I'm so excited to be the co-host of this Recreation Inspiration. I get a little bit behind sometimes with my DIYs, and I was just a DIY crafting machine last night, and I got up so early this morning to get everything done because I procrastinated, and life happens and I just get behind. But I finally got them done. All right, are you guys familiar with Little Blessed Nesta 4? She's on Instagram, and her and her husband make the nicest little tier tray items of fruit and signs and garlands. Well, I wanted to mimic that watermelon, those little wooden watermelon tier tray sitters that she has, but I didn't have any triangular shaped wood, so I'm gonna use floral foam. What an idea, huh? Messy floral foam, and I'm going to cut them in triangles, and then I'm going to use some spackle to make them a little hard and fill in all the little holes and everything. And I lost some footage. I also got 2 round circles from my nephew, because my nephew has a wood shop, he gave me 2 round pieces. He didn't have any triangular pieces of wood, but he gave me some round pieces, and I'm going to use that for lemon and an orange and lemon wedge, or orange and lime wedge, something I'm going to make. I can't even remember, but I'm going that footage isn't on here for some odd reason. It was just saying that I had lost it or something. But here I am using the Dollar Tree spackle. I added some paint to it because it looks thick and fluffy, but I want it more soft, and so that I can spread it onto these pieces of floral foam. So I added some white paint, because also the color is off. It's a little gray sometimes when you open this spackle. And please remember, guys, to check out the host channels and check the description box for the playlist to this lovely Recreation Inspiration challenge that we have going on here. There are usually so many people that put their videos up, and they're just so interesting to watch what everyone else creates. I just love it. It gives me ideas, and I learned so much from all these fantastic creators that participate in these challenges. So here I am with a popsicle stick, just rubbing and spreading and ice, just like cake icing, the spackle onto this piece of floral foam, and I'm just going to do one nice layer because once it hardens, I'm going to have to sand all those lumps away. So now they've sat 24 hours and they've completely hardened. So I'm going to use this little sanding block and I'm going to just sand away all the lumps and bumps and try to get it as smooth as possible. It's definitely not going to be perfect and it's definitely not going to be smooth, but it's just going to be a little bit smoother than it is right now. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my floral foam. I made this color paint. I needed a watermelon shade of paint. So what I did was I added lots of pink and a little bit of red. A lot of pink and a dab of red, just one drop of red. And it created this nice watermelon color. Now this is where I lost the footage. I had showed myself painting these white and drawing the triangles on here, but these are those wood rounds that I got from my nephew's shop. And then I just painted the shape of, you know how the segments of a lime or a lemon or orange look. I drew those segments on there with a pencil, and now I'm just painting them in with this lime green paint and some orange paint. So I'm making a lime slice and an orange slice. And if you check out the Little Blessed Nesta 4, I'm going to link her channel in the description box below. She and her husband, they made so many of these cute little pieces, and I thought they were just lovely. I mean, mine aren't as big as theirs and as neat as theirs, but you guys get the idea. Now I have them all done, and I'm just going to touch up some of my spots that I messed up with some white paint. Like I'm going to define those lines a little bit more and then clean up some of the edges where I had some overflow of paint. I also wanted to create my version of that watermelon rag garland that she created also. And I got these fabrics from Dollar Tree. This one just says sweet melon and summertime, things like that. It just has different fruity words on it. And I just got this from the Dollar Tree. And then the greens and that white I also got from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use this ribbon to fill in as, the color of the actual watermelon too, just to give that pop of color. I was at a Dollar Tree by my daughter's place, and they have the Dollar Tree Plus section. They have little packs of fabric that are already cut into pieces, like for $5. And there will be all lemon fabrics or all, I just saw lemon and bee fabric. Those are the two theme fabrics that I saw that were in these little bundles. But you know what? I just thought, either way, it costs about the same. And I didn't mind just cutting all my little pieces up. And it worked out, all the same. But what I did was I just took my fabric and cut them in these little pieces, all roughly the same, not perfect, just roughly the same. And then I just tie them on. And this took me 2 days because I started doing this late at night, and then I just picked up where I left off the next day. And here we are. I've started working on it again. I could have probably done this in one day, but I was super tired the night before. But I'm just finishing up, and I'm just alternating the green, the white, the one with the words, and then I do that twice, and then I come through with one of the ribbon. I'm getting towards the end, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end of the video. All right, so I wanted to create my version of that little sign that you saw at the beginning when I posted about the Little Blessed Nest of 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this canvas, and I am going to make a little watermelon type of picture with it. And it was all out of sponges, so I just used some paper towel to sponge around the sides, and the green is the rind of the watermelon. And then, as you can see, I have my pink with my little dot of red, and that's going to create the watermelon, the flesh part of the watermelon color. And I have a little bit of white, and I also have a little black for the seeds. Now, I wanted to write the words "oh so sweet" on here, but I probably should have done it before I put the paint on there. I probably should have done it when the canvas was white, and then did it in a nice black color, like with my marker. And then, I could have just painted over it and it would have still shown. But now that I waited, and I was trying to do that method where you write, you use your pencil and you darken in the back, and then you trace over it, and then the words come out, and then you just trace over the words. Well, when I did that, you could barely see the words. So then I really had to just freehand "oh so sweet" on here anyway. But, we live and we learn. And I'm putting these seeds on here. This was not the plan. I wasn't supposed to do that because I have to glue that watermelon on there that's laying there on the table. So I'm going to cover up a lot of these seeds that I'm making, but That's what you do when you wait till the last minute and then you're rushing around trying to get stuff done. Oh boy, Kay. So here I am, and what you do, I wrote "Oh So Sweet" on the front, and then you take the back and you color with your pen, and you just use all your pencil lead and color it in. And then when you lay it back on your thing you're trying to transfer it onto, the lead should come through onto your project. But because the paint was on there, I could barely see it, but it's okay. I'm not gonna let that stop me. Yep, I'm just going to freehand it on to the next project. And this is just a reminder that this is a challenge. Please check out the host and the playlist in the description box below. Now this next DIY, I found a channel called Simple, Cheap, and Easy DIYs. And they created these bee-themed DIYs. It was a little honey pot and a beehive. So I figured I'm going to put my own spin on it and try to create it too. So a friend of mine, she gave me all these baby food jars from when after she cleaned them up from feeding her baby. And I was like, man, what do I do with all these? But I'm going to make a little pot of honey out of one of them. And all the rest of them are still just sitting there. I got to come up with some ideas. Anyways, I use this maize colored paint by Waverly. I'm going to paint this jar completely. I'm going to have to do at least 2 coats, maybe 3 on this jar. And I'm going to paint the lid also. And so the lid would have a little knob on it. I just hot glued a wooden bead on top of there. Okay, so Simple, Cheap, and Easy DIYs made the beehive out of rope, the jute cord from Dollar Tree or from wherever, Amazon, but you can get jute cord anywhere. But I didn't have any, so what I did was I thought I could do the same thing with clay if I just roll it out and then wrap it around on itself. And I wanted it to be a little sturdy, and look at me, I sat my clay on my brown paper and I had just put that paper on there. Anyways, I'm gonna use something in the inside, a little flower pot, and I'm gonna roll it around on the flower pot to give it some sturdy inside. I'm actually going to have to take this clay into the kitchen and roll it out because this area is just too small for me to get the length of the cord that I need. So that's what I'm going to do after I do this first layer. So I took it in the kitchen on the counter and I rolled it out, and then I believe I may have enough to go all the way around, but if not, I'll just roll out another little piece to get it to go all the way to the top. But then I just go around and around, kind of the same way that I do ice cream. This is not ice cream though. After I did it, I thought, this either looks like I'm doing ice cream or a little poop stack or something, but really it's not. It's gonna be a beehive. It's a beehive, guys. Really. And here it is after I got it completely rolled all the way to the top. It does look like ice cream, but it's not. When I get it all done, you'll see it's a nice little beehive, and I'm gonna cut the circle out for the bees to get in and do whatever they do inside of the little beehive. And I'm just gonna make this little circle cut out with my spatula here, and it's just gonna come right out. So I also wanted to make a little honey dipper out of a skewer. I put a bead on there, glued it on, and then I wrapped a little clay around it. Here I am painting the beehive now, and I'm just going to use this brown paint, 2 different color brown paints I'm going to use. But I'm going to have to highlight it when I get done with a little of the maize paint, because I'm not trying to make this look like a poop little stack of you know what. So I had to highlight it at the end, but you'll see it's going to turn out perfectly. So here I highlighted it with a little bit of the maize paint, and it does look a little, now you can see the different dimensions. And also now I'm using some black chalkboard paint, and I'm painting in the inner circle. Now I'm going to finish my little honey pot. I'm going to glue the lid on, but leave it like it's slightly open, because I'm going to make some honey like dripping out of it. So I want it to have an area where it looks like it was spilling out, and I'm just using my hot glue to create that honey that's spilling out. And I'm going to put that on the honey pot, I'm going to put it on the honey dipper, and I'm going to put a little bit of it on the beehive. And then I didn't have anything but gold that would mimic the color of honey, I thought. So I'm just using this gold paint, and I'm just coloring in all the little drips of honey that I created. So now this, I just felt like I needed something else, like I didn't have enough DIY. So I remember I got this napkin in the mail from my sweet friend, and this little dish I also got. So I'm gonna just cut out this napkin, and I'm gonna paint the inside of the dish with my plaster paint from Waverly, and then I'm going to decoupage this napkin into this little dish. And I just put some jute cord around the inside, and then I'm gonna just decoupage this little napkin in the center. Now this DIY, I'm sure you guys know what it is. This is fabric that I got from the Dollar Tree. Aren't these pretty? I'm just going to cut them in strips, and I'm going to make a garland. I'm not going to show myself making this garland because I make it just like I made the other one. And then I'll show you what it looks like at the end of the video. And please check out the description box for the playlist and the host channels. And here we are at the end of the video. Here is the charger, and I placed all the items on top of the charger. But first, I guess I'm showing you the sign. Oh, so sweet. And I just had to freehand it because I couldn't see the tracing, the area I needed to trace. It turned out nice. And here's the charger, and I just put my fruit on top, and you see that lemon wedge? I made that last year, but it matched, so I just used it to go along with the stuff I made this year. And here's the charger. I think it's really pretty. And here are the watermelon wedges that we made. I think they turned out nice, and they're a good size too. They're very lightweight. They're not heavy like wood. So, and here is the garland, their little rag garland. And I put those two watermelon halves that I got off that Dollar Tree sign on the ends. And here is the charger without anything sitting on it, just so you can see what it looks like by itself. So I can display it on a little plate stand, just like this, and that's probably how I will do it. And here's our little beehive. It actually looks like a beehive now. And I took some of those bees that I got from Dollar Tree, and I just glued one at the opening and one at the top. And he's eating the honey that's coming out of there. So cute. And here's our honey pot and I glued the honey dipper on top of the honey pot, and I put a bee up there too. I put a bee up there by the honey dipper. And here is our tray. I think it's a nice accent to this little vignette here. I think it blends in really nice. And here is my garland, and I just wrapped it around the bottom of this little tier tray. I hope you guys like these DIYs. Remember to check out the description box below for the host channels and for the playlist. Thank you for having me and asking me to be a co-host to this. This was such a pleasure. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. And remember to always be kind to yourself and kind to others. Thank you.